So how do boundaries cause problems within a state or within a country? Um, First, we need to look at the different shapes that states have and how these shapes can strengthen the country's power, um, and how these shapes of a state can also end up being problematic. And so the shape of a state really controls the length of its boundaries with other states, and this affects the potential for communication and conflict with its neighbors. Oftentimes, the shape is part of a country's unique identity. It influences the ease or difficulty of the internal administration, so how well its internal government functions, and it can impact how cohesive of a unit the state really forms. So countries have one of five basic shapes. One of the first ones is a compact state. These are efficient, very efficient for internal organization of its central power or its government authority. Um, the distance from the center of the state to any of the boundaries doesn't vary significantly. They're clearly not perfect circles or squares, but they're usually small and compact. Then we have an elongated state. Elongated states can lead to potential isolation. Because they are long and narrow, it means that it is often difficult to have internal communications because you can be wherever the center is or wherever the capital is can be such a far distance from other areas in the state. An example of an elongated state would be Chile, and it's 4,000 kilometers long north and south, and it rarely exceeds 150 kilometers wide east to west. So it's a very long, narrow country. It is difficult to communicate within the country, although it's certainly easier today with modern communications. A prorupted state has a projecting extension, and these states are created so they can provide access to a resource or disrupt another border. So it might provide usually a state with access to a resource like water. So access to water is one of the biggest reasons to have a corrupted state. So you might have a border that connects to a river. So it's corrupted to connect to a river or the ocean or a lake. And access to water is important for trade. And fresh water is, of course, important for irrigation and drinking. It might also separate two states that would share a boundary. So you might have a prorupted state to cause a disruption. And this disruption would be basically usually disrupting a connection of power between two other states. A perforated state would be South Africa. A perforated state is a state that is completely surrounds another state. So South Africa completely surrounds Swaziland and Laos. So South Africa, within South Africa, you'll see two mini states, one of which is completely one is completely surrounded. The encompassed state is dependent on the surrounding state for interactions beyond its border. So the Vatican City is surrounded by Italy. And if you look at the last one, fragmented, this is one that is one of the most problematic. So this is a state that includes several discontinuous pieces of territory. So you've got fragmented states that are separated by water and fragmented states that are separated by an intervening state. And that's about it.